Now then, let's begin with a basic explanation. Screw it. This is tiresome.
You need more motivation!
I do. I really, really do. Now then, let's start this class trial.
Before we start, I just want to ask something since there's not a lot of us left. What happens if the votes result in 2 first places?
Huh? You mean like a tie? It means they're both the black one, as long as one of them is correct. It's fine.
Daddy, are you sure you should make a decision like that so casually?
Yeah, it's fine. Whatever.
Thanks. Since that's answered, I can start enjoying this life or death game now.
What game? How long are you gonna keep saying that?
Just ignore Kokichi. The rest of us need to work together to find the truth. Got it! We can't die here! Oh my! Himiko has become so determined! It's true! People really do change!
But now she's lost what made her so unique.
That's none of your business!
We should focus on the class trial. First, we need to clarify...
Kaito's the culprit!
What? Say that to my face!
While we were all still logged in, Kaito logged out alone, right? You were able to move freely. Doesn't that mean you could have committed the murder?
Don't screw around! There's no way I'm the culprit! Kaito right. Kaito couldn't have killed me.
How long are you gonna keep saying that? Trusted people can still kill, you know. We already saw that a bunch of times. So many times. Since Kaede. Kaito logged out first by himself. You was still logged in though. That's when you poisoned him, right, Kaito?
Kaito culprit? Impossible! Of course it's impossible, because I didn't do it! I mean, we found that bottle of poison on Kokichi's seat, didn't we?
The culprit was trying to pin the blame on me. That diversion was part of your plan, right, Kaito?
Well, Kaito, last words.
What do you mean, last words?
Kaito logged out first by himself. You was still logged in though. That's when you poisoned her, right, Kaito?
I was wrong!
Kaito logged out first by himself. You was still logged in though. That's when you poisoned her, right, Kaito?
Kaito culprit? Impossible! Of course it's impossible, because I didn't do it! I mean, we found that bottle of poison. On Kokichi's seat, didn't we?
The culprit was trying to pin the blame on me. That diversion was part of your plan, right, Kaito?
Well, Kaito, last words.
Kaito logged out first. In though. That's poison, right? Kaito logged out first by himself. Mew was still logged in though. That's when you poisoned him, right, Kaito?
Kaito culprit? Impossible! Of course it's impossible, because I didn't do it! We found that bottle of poison, didn't we?
The culprit was trying to pin the blame on me. That diversion was part of your plan, right, Kaito?
Well, Kaito, any last words?
What do you mean last words?
Kaito logged out first by himself. Mew was still logged in though. That's when you poisoned him, right, Kaito? Damn it! Kaito logged out first by himself. Mew was still logged in though. That's when you poisoned him, right, Kaito?
Kaito culprit? Impossible! Of course it's impossible, because I didn't do it! We found that bottle of poison on Kokichi's seat, didn't we?
Blame on... Right, Kaito? Kaito logged out. Logged in though. That's when you poisoned him, right?
That's wrong!
Mew wasn't killed by poison, and the warning on the label proves it. Drinking the poison would result in subconjunctival hemorrhaging. In other words, your eyes would be bloodshot.
Oh, but Mew's body. That's right. Her eyes weren't bloodshot. She wasn't killed by that poison.
Then what was that poison for?
Probably a diversion. The culprit wanted us to think Mew died by poison.
Then, what was her real cause of death?
This is it! Mew's cause of death was the killing game simulator itself. In the virtual world, if your avatar takes fatal damage, your real body dies of shock. That was made clear in the program's text file.
Mew received fatal damage in the virtual world and died from that shock.
In that case, it's fair to say that the cause of death was actually the simulator.
Gonta has question. Where is this virtual world place? What floor is it on?
If you don't understand, then don't say anything.
If Mew was killed in the virtual world, then the next thing we need to figure out is what caused her to incur fatal damage within the virtual world.
So her cause of death in the virtual world is the one that matters.
It seems like Gonta is confused. So why don't we review things a bit? So we split into two groups to find the secret of the outside world.
The ones who searched the mansion were me, Shuichi, Smoothie, Gonta, and... that NPC Kaito.
Hey, who you calling NPC, you ASS?
And the others who searched the chapel were Keyboy, Maki, Himiko, and the late me.
How could someone have given her fatal damage in that situation? That's what we gotta think about. Now, let's all work together.
Aw, little Himiko is all grown up. Too bad your chest hasn't grown up, though.
That was uncalled for! Someday, my chest will grow like crazy!
Let's begin then.
In the virtual world, Miu was fatally injured. So let's focus our efforts on that first.
Whoever did that to me was dropped right next to her avatar. It has to be the hammer!
We're going to beat her with his bare hands.
Are we certain that blunt force was involved? I think strangulation is more likely.
It's possible she was pushed from a great height.
Could she have drowned?
In the virtual world, Miu was fatally injured. So let's focus our efforts on that first.
Whoever did that to me was dropped right next to her avatar. It has to be the hammer!
We're going to beat her with his bare hands.
Are we certain that blunt force was involved? I think strangulation is more.
I agree. Miu's body showed severe trauma and signs of a struggle.
Yeah, she looked like she suffered. Very hard to look at.
Right. And the virtual world is connected to our 5 senses. If her body experienced pain, she must have been in pain in the virtual world as well. Knowing that, I believe Maki is correct. Miu was strangled to death.
Yeah, definitely. Strangling and poison are the only methods that can make her look like she's suffocated. But we already removed the possibility of poison, so it can only be strangulation. Also, when a victim is poisoned, they commonly grab their chest or mouth. But Miu was holding her throat. It's obvious she was trying to protect her windpipe.
Oh, the assassin master gets really chatty when it comes to corpses.
In that case, her exact cause of death is being strangled in the virtual world.
But is strangulation even possible in the virtual world? If the avatars were equally strong, it would be difficult to strangle a resisting victim.
Yeah, if she was just as strong as them, no way they could have strangled her.
Then the culprit would need a tool. There are tons of cases where a weaker person would strangle a stronger person with a rope.
Wow, you know a lot about killing, nerd.
But was there even a rope in that world? I don't remember seeing one.
Then they must have used something else as a rope.
This is it! During the investigation, we found toilet paper outside the mansion. I'm guessing that the toilet paper was used to strangle her.
No can ignore that!
What do you mean, Shuichi? Huh? What's wrong?
What's wrong? Shuichi goofing off! Not gentlemanly at all! There's no time for nonsense! No one used toilet paper in place of rope! Would tear too easy!
I'll cut through your words!
The toilet paper wouldn't tear. Because in the virtual world, objects are unbreakable.
You're so dumb, Gonta. You didn't even know that?
If objects can't break in this world, then toilet paper shouldn't be able to tear. And since it couldn't tear, it could be used as a rope.
Gonta not really understand, but... Sorry, Shuichi. Gonta was wrong.
It's okay, Gonta. Don't worry about it.
Killed by toilet paper. It was a fitting end for her.
A fitting end? I do not fully understand that logic.
But if Mew was killed near the chapel, why was the murder weapon by the mansion?
Maybe the culprit tried to get rid of it to destroy the evidence.
If toilet paper was the murder weapon, then what's the deal with the hammer next to her?
Perhaps the culprit prepared a backup weapon, just in case.
No, the culprit didn't bring the hammer.
No? But who else but the culprit would bring a hammer?
That's it! Mew was the one who brought the hammer.
Mew bring hammer?
Remember what she told us?
Yeah, she did say she deleted any dangerous objects.
If that were true, she wouldn't have missed something like a hammer. Meaning that Mew must have left it on purpose.
On purpose?
But why she do that?
Let's assume that Mew brought the hammer. What was she planning to do with it?
Maybe use it to break down a wall?
Uses for a hammer. Gonta no! Mew gonna build stuff with hammer!
Probably just brought it for self-defense.
Or she secretly met up with someone and tried to kill them with it.
You idiot! She was the victim!
Let's assume...
What was she trying to do with it? Uses for a hammer.
Gonta no! Mew gonna build stuff with hammer!
Probably.
Just brought it for self-defense.
Or she secretly met up with someone. I agree.
Mew was gonna meet up with someone in the virtual world.
Mm-hmm. With me. I was supposed to meet up with Mew on the roof of the mansion.
What? Is that true? I overheard them talking about it at the chapel.
By the way, Mew asked to meet up with me before we went into the virtual world. I totally forgot where we were supposed to meet, so good thing Keyboy spied on us.
Wait, so Mew called Kokichi out?
If Mew brought the hammer, I wonder what she was planning to do with it.
That's it! She was trying to kill Kokichi.
She was what?
Yep, she plotted to meet up with me and then kill me with the hammer. If you want to prove this, you'll need to figure out Mew's plan, okay?
To appear as if Kokichi was killed in the real world.
She placed the poison on my seat to make us think the murder happened in the real world.
She did that too?
What? You was the one who put that poison bottle there? No, that ain't right. Something's definitely weird about that. When could Mew have put the poison there?
If she did place the poison without us noticing it, then she must have logged out at some point.
And then what? Log back in?
Kokichi, weren't you in the salon around that time? Did you see her log in or log out at all?
Nope, I didn't see that at all.
If she hadn't logged in or out, then Mew couldn't have placed the poison. Then who put poison bottle?
The only person who logged out early was Kaito.
Kaito, your grave just got 10 feet deeper.
No, it wasn't me, guys. When could you have put it there?
If she did place the poison without us noticing it, then she must have logged out at some point.
Log in or
see that at all.
Didn't log in. Then you couldn't. That's wrong!
It was Mew who planted the poison on Kokichi's chair. She had plenty of time to do it. Here, take a look at this.
Is this a record of who went in and out of the virtual world?
That's right. It says that Mew was the last of us to log in.
Yeah, what about it?
If she logged in last, she would have had time to move around in the real world after the previous person logged in.
That's right. She could have placed poison bottle on Kokichi's seat.
This was all part of Mew's plan. She tried to kill me in the virtual world, make us think it happened in the real world, then pin the crime on Kaito.
Well, that's not my fault.
Which is why she manually logged you out, just for that purpose.
So she did that to me?
Yes, I'm positive of that. Mew used a method only she could use to log Kaito out manually.
This is it!
It was the cell phone found by Mew's avatar. That cell phone worked the same way as the phone in the salon. It logs users in and out. I verified this myself when I spoke Kaito's name into it.
I see. With that cell phone, she could force anyone to log out at any time.
But Mew never mentioned a cell phone, right?
That's what Shuichi referred to when he mentioned a method only she could use. She kept the cell phone a secret on purpose, so she could use it for the murder.
So, she really was planning a murder.
And she tried to set me up.
Well, I knew that from the start.
Then why did you say I was the culprit?
Because I wanted to get it through your thick skull. People you trust and defend will ultimately betray you. This is a game of suspicion. Well, I think your ideals should stay the same. Because phonies like you are what make the game more interesting. Don't you agree, Monokuma?
Do I? I don't know about that. Huh? Wait, what were we talking about?
I wonder when Daddy's gonna get his motivation back.
Yeah! If Father keeps slacking off, all the work is gonna get forced onto Mommy.
Huh? Mommy?
My head! I feel like I'm about to remember something, but I can't.
It's not Monotaro! Pull yourself together!
Anywho, it's a blessing in disguise that Mew died and not me.
What you mean?
Because she wouldn't have said anything about what really happened in the virtual world. You guys would have had a way harder time finding the culprit, you know. She would have been able to lie about the virtual world settings as much as she wanted. And you'd never know that the murder actually took place in the virtual world.
So that's why she decided to attempt the murder, because she had total control.
And the reason Mew was so insistently going to the virtual world was...
She was insistent we go there so she could kill us. What a shady person.
I was sad that she was gone, but now I don't know what to think.
Nice! Backstabbed by a trusted friend. See? That's an ideal fun situation. Now we can start a real class trial.
Kokichi sort of sound like Monokuma.
Really? I don't sound anything like him.
No, you're just like Monokuma. Both of you are cowards. You never speak the truth or show your true face.
Wait, coward? You say some interesting things sometimes, Kaito.
Smiling, putting on a mask, never saying what you really think. That kind of cowardice is just like Monokuma.
Daddy, they calling you a coward! Aren't you gonna do something?
Yeah, I just gotta do my signature laugh, right? There, I did it.
He's completely lost his drive! Like a one-hit wonder who clings to their former fame!
My head!
Listen up, Kokichi. The hell with this game of suspicion crap. I will never be okay with it. I'm just gonna believe in everyone. Instead of suspecting my friends, I'm gonna find the truth by believing in them.
Well, if you think you can win this game like that, then sure, be my guest.
Of course I can. I don't need your permission.
How long are you guys going to argue? Let's hurry this up and continue. If we don't find the culprit, then we'll all die, you know that?
Oh, you're right. I'm sorry.
If we are going to begin searching for the culprit, let's start with Kokichi's story.
Huh? My story?
You were meeting with Miu, but she ended up as the victim. So it's only natural for us to think you're the killer, right?
Here's my answer. I never met up with Miu.
You didn't?
I tried to go to the roof to meet up with her, but the door was locked.
Isn't lockpicking your specialty? You should have been able to open it easy.
I couldn't pick locks with my avatar body. I didn't have the tools for it either. Also, I never went to the roof, not even for the meeting.
I remember. You and Gonta went off together when we first started looking.
But was the door to the roof actually locked? When I was on the roof before logging out, the door wasn't locked.
How should I know?
Then who locks the door to the roof?
I already told you. How should I know?
When I went to the roof, it wasn't locked. So you gotta be lying.
What good would it be if I lied? I don't want to die either, you know.
Lying would do you a lot of good if you're the culprit.
Oh, I see. I didn't realize that.
What kind of response is that? That's suspicious as hell!
Wait, there's no point in arguing about that now. The truth will come out eventually. Before we get to that, we need to discover the truth behind Miu's death.
Truth?
There were mysterious circumstances surrounding her death. We need to make sense of those first.
Wow, Shuichi, you know your way around this game. Yes, keep up the hard work. The fate of our lives rests in your hands.
So, what is this strange circumstance?
Kokichi claims it was Miu who chose the meeting place. But I'm wondering how she got from the chapel to the mansion's roof.
I see. Miu sent the bridge connecting the mansion and chapel into the river herself.
If that's the case, then Miu might not have even gone to the roof.
Huh? So she stood me up? It's very rude to break a promise. Miu was waiting for me to arrive. I'm sure she was waiting on the rooftop of the mansion.
No, Miu should have been at the chapel. Look at where her avatar fell. He's right next to the chapel.
would she have gotten to the mansion? There was no bridge over the river.
A bridge would be the only way to get across.
So, her meeting with Kokichi.
She stood me up! Mew was waiting for me to arrive. I'm sure she was waiting on the rooftop of the mansion.
No, Mew should have been at the chapel. Look at where her avatar is.
The bridge would be the only way to get across. So, her meeting with Kokichi.
Mew was waiting to arrive. I'm sure she was waiting on the rooftop of the mansion.
No, Mew should have been at the chapel. Look at where her avatar is.
There was no bridge over the river. A bridge would be the only way to get across. So, her meeting with Kokichi.
Mew was waiting
For me to arrive. I'm sure she was waiting on the rooftop.
top of the mansion.
No. Chapel.
That's wrong!
Mew must have gone to the mansion. We have a witness.
Yeah. When I was searching the dining room, I saw Mew pass by the window.
Then why didn't you say so sooner?
Sorry. I thought I was just mistaken at first. Since there was no way she could have come to the mansion. But I guess I wasn't mistaken after all. That was definitely Mew.
Then, how did she get to the mansion from the chapel?
There must have been some special method only Mew knew, like with that cell phone.
There's no doubt about that. That's why she dropped the bridge. If a murder occurred when it was impossible to cross the river, she wouldn't be implicated. She used a secret method to move from the chapel to the mansion for the murder.
She dropped the bridge to make a huge scene just to let everyone know it's no longer there.
So, what secret method did she use?
It won't be that easy to figure out. It's called a secret method for a reason.
No worries, guys. As long as we leave it to Shuichi, everything will be A-okay.
What are you saying? You can't just rely on Shuichi all the time. This class trial's for all of us. We're here to solve this together.
You would just slow down Shuichi.
Shut up!
Way across it only Mew knew about.
Like a hidden bridge besides that signboard now.
Or instead of bridge, you use some kind of vehicle to go over.
Maybe she teleported with magic. Or she used a warp zone.
Maybe there's a place you could cross without a bridge.
A hidden route that only Mew could use to get across. I suppose it is possible she used that to change places.
Man, you guys are way off! Or maybe I'm just pulling your legs!
Way across it only Mew.
Signboard now.
Vehicle to go over.
Maybe she teleported with magic. Or she used a warp zone.
Maybe there's a place you could cross without a bridge.
Only Mew used to get across.
I agree.
That's it, Kivo. There was a hidden route only Mew could use.
Was there really?
Mew modified the program to add a special wall to the world. The wall stretches along the y-axis, but we found two such walls in the virtual world. It's unclear whether Mew added the wall by the mansion or the wall near the chapel. We do know that that wall was set so that only objects could pass through.
Don't be naive, Shuichi.
What is it, Kaito?
Jeez, can you set up a weird wall like that? That is suspicious, but it's got nothing to do with what we were talking about.
Nothing to do with it.
You don't even realize your mistake? You losing your edge? Oh well, my sidekick's mistakes are my mistakes. I'll make it right. What we gotta figure out is how Mew got from the chapel to the mansion, right? So why waste time talking about it's pointless. We gotta take a whole new approach here.
Now, wait just a second. It's not actually impossible at all.
But you just said so, didn't you? That wall Mew set up only lets non-human objects go through it. Humans aren't able to pass through. So Mew obviously wouldn't be able to go through that wall. She's not just an object after all. Oh, cut through your words.
The wall wasn't the only thing that Mew changed. She also changed her avatar settings from human to object.
From human to object?
Which means the virtual world treated her avatar as an object. She could have passed through a wall that only non-humans could go through.
Is that right?
Don't get ahead of yourself, Kaito. We need to listen to everything Shuichi says. I already told you, the more you try, the more you cause us trouble. So totally lame that your own sidekick is dissing you!
Kokichi, enough! I wasn't arguing with him. I was just explaining.
I don't care. That doesn't bother me at all. It just means even I make mistakes. Don't worry about it, Shuichi.
Okay.
It's pretty funny seeing Kaito try to act all tough like this.
Kokichi, please refrain from making such irrelevant and irrational remarks.
So, if Mew messed with the program and made a wall only she could go through,
Then her secret route was through that wall?
that's it, right? Like using a glitch in a game to walk outside the map. I bet Mew had a hidden passage like that in the back of the chapel.
But even if she could walk through walls, was there really a hidden passage? Because Mew said...
She probably lied. There would be no point in going if there was nothing on the other side.
You lied. Huh.
I wonder what the truth is. There's no way to find out now.
That cum-soaked urinal cake was totally lying about there being nothing past the wall. She lived a life of pride, vulgarity, and secrets. Lying would be a piece of cake for her.
Kichi, you no have to go that far.
Stop it! Don't badmouth Mommy! Listen to you, talking about Mommy like she was a terrible lying whore. But Mommy wasn't lying. There was no hidden route in that virtual world.
Oh, there wasn't, huh?
Hey! You can't tell them such an important hint!
Oh, if you say that hint is important, then I guess it must be true. Ah, jeez. You're lucky you're cute. So now that we know there's no hidden route, why did she manipulate the program? If there's actually nothing past the wall, then that setting was meaningless.
Mew wouldn't have done something meaningless. She would have had a plan.
Yes, Mew definitely wanted to be able to go through that wall for a reason. We aren't sure why yet, but once we solve the mystery of the virtual world...
Mystery of virtual world?
There have been a lot of strange occurrences in the virtual world. If we can determine why, we will also determine what Mew was up to. We'll know why she wanted to pass through the wall.
All right, let's clear up those strange occurrences.
Yeah, Gonta will help, even though Gonta not know what you're talking about.
Speaking of strange occurrences, I'm just plain worried about that one thing. Remember? That thing that made us notice all the strange occurrences?
This is it! You mean the loud sound that you and I heard in the kitchen?
You all heard that sound too?
Yes, in the mansion's kitchen.
But that sound occurred near the chapel. How did you hear it all the way at the mansion?
First off, sound can't go past the map loading point. Did that sound really come from the chapel?
That sound was something hitting the chapel wall. It was real loud.
And we definitely heard it. We heard Kibo's voice as well.
You heard my voice too?
What? That is pretty strange.
Exactly. That has to be some kind of clue to the mystery of the virtual world.
Okay, well, let's check the answers later and try to find all the other clues first. There was another mysterious phenomenon in the virtual world, wasn't there?
Kokichi talked like he noticed something, pretending not to know.
Even Gonta is suspicious of me? I always thought you would be the one to trust me!
Sorry, Gonta not mean it like that.
There's no need to apologize to him. He's probably just lying again.
What was the other strange occurrence? Did you see it, Shuichi?
I see it!
The sign that we were using as a bridge was odd to me.
Odd how?
We mentioned it before, but Mew dropped the sign in the river. We found it later, but there was something unnatural about it. It appeared as though the sign was carried against the river's current. We all saw Mew drop the sign and watched the river carry it downstream. And the river was wide there. The sign should have traveled downriver toward the chapel, correct? It should have hit the wall on the far side of the chapel and stopped there. But that's not where we found it. We found it near the mansion, nestled in some rocks.
The signboard should have been near the chapel, but we found it on the other side.
Hold up. Didn't you stay on the chapel side? She probably grabbed the signboard from the chapel wall to cross the river. Then left it on the boulders near the mansion so she could get back.
Why would she leave the signboard where it could get swept away and leave her stranded?
Also, this has nothing to do with walking through the wall, right? We're getting off topic. We're so close to the truth. We just have to connect the how and what. All the mysterious things that happened have to connect with each other somehow.
Connect how?
A wall only objects can pass through. Sounds that shouldn't be heard. A signboard going against the river current. How are they all connected?
I don't know, but Shuichi should know, right?
What?
We would be in a lot of trouble if you didn't. The only one who can solve this mystery and save us all is you.
So, how are they connected? Do you know, Shuichi?
Well, what we know so far is that the unnatural way the sign was carried is possibly related to the wall. Oh no! This is it! It might have to do with a wall that only objects can pass through. The sign should have stopped at the wall on the other side of the chapel. But if that wall happened to be the one that Mew set to allow objects through,
I see. It's a wall only non-humans can pass through. That means the signboard can pass through the wall, right?
Even if it could pass through the chapel wall, how did it end up by the mansion?
The only way it could do that is if the wall was a warp zone. But it's not, right?
Leave it to me, Shuichi. I, your partner, will give you hints in times of trouble. This is the virtual world. We should throw away all of our common sense, okay?
Huh? The hell does that even mean?
that's it! What if both ends of the river were connected?
Huh? Both ends of river connected?
Exactly. To put it another way, the river isn't cut off at the wall near the chapel. It's all part of one big loop. The upstream part of the river is connected to it.
What? What are you talking about? Both ends of the river can't...
Again, throw out all common sense from your head. We're talking about the virtual world.
Then what about the wall? There was only one wall that could be passed through.
Right. Even if the river's connected and it goes through the chapel wall, it wouldn't have been able to go through the mansion wall, too.
I got it. I know why you only set up one wall.
What are you talking about now?
That's it! The walls by the chapel and the mansion aren't separate. They're the same wall. The same wall? It's not just the river. The walls themselves are connected. Don't think of it as two separate walls, but a single wall parallel to the y-axis. That single wall divides the entire virtual world. The idea is you pass through the wall by the chapel and come out by the mansion.
Everything is starting to connect. See, didn't I tell you? Everything is connected.
Damn it, Kokichi! Just tell us...
It's okay. More importantly, this is the final stretch! If both the river and wall are connected, Then you can find the secret. Shuichi, you already know the secret behind the virtual world, right?
Yes, that's it. The virtual world is a loop. Loop?
Just like in old games, right? Like, for example, when a character goes off the left side of the screen and reappears on the right.
Yes, exactly. The edges of the virtual world are linked together in a continuous loop.
The virtual world loops?
What in the world?
If that's true, it would explain the way the signboard was swept away. It vanished into the wall downstream of the river, came out of that same wall upstream, and floated with the current until it got caught on the rocks.
What was the world like before Mew added the wall?
Actually, there wasn't a wall on the y-axis at all, and the x-axis was set to loop.
Are you serious? Even if it is a computer program, isn't that too crazy?
A looping world. That's more extraordinary than even magic.
But at least it's not a boring answer. It also explains all the things that happen.
Huh? It doesn't explain everything, does it? Because we still don't know why we heard that one sound or Kibo's voice.
Yeah, sound doesn't go past the nap loading point.
Actually, if we know that the world is a loop, we can explain that as well.
Huh? Really?
Yes, but first we need to be clear where the loop starts.
Where the loop starts. Doesn't it loop at the walls next to the mansion and chapel?
Not necessarily. If we heard a noise at the chapel from inside the mansion, then the loop...
Oh no! Oh no!
The map loading point was where the virtual world looped. We thought the loading point was in the middle of the map. But the loading point was actually at the edges.
So the wall Mew created wasn't at the edges of the world. Rather, the wall was at the center of the world.
I see. So the mansion and chapel were near each other, with a wall between them. And any sounds emitted near the chapel would also reach the mansion. The wall only allows non-humans to pass through, so sound should be able to pass through easily.
That's right. That's how the virtual world works.
Impressive, Shuichi! For you to get this far! Yes! Yes! You are useful indeed!
For you to get this far? What are you, some villain pulling the strings?
Nope. Mew pulled the strings here, not me. Remember? Mew also set this trap. It all began when Mew showed us the map. Because of the map, we mistakenly thought the loading point was at the center. Which in turn made the mansion and chapel seem farther away from each other.
But the structure of the world wasn't actually like that. There was a wall along the y-axis, and the x-axis came around in a loop.
By putting that wall in the center of that world, she cut off the loop.
So ever since Mew showed us that map, we were caught in her trap. But we solved this mystery thanks to Shuichi. All hail our savior!
Yeah, if Shuichi wasn't here, then we never would have solved this mystery.
That's right. Good work, Shuichi.
Thanks, Shuichi. You saved us.
You're welcome.
Just because we found out the virtual world's secret doesn't mean we can take it easy yet. Actually, this culprit hunt just got to the exciting part. Even if we know all the tricks, it's pretty meaningless if we don't find the culprit. That's how a class trial works, after all!
Ichi talking like Monokuma again. No matter what you say, I'm not gonna believe your lies. I'm gonna believe in everyone. That's how I'm gonna reach the truth.
I can't wait to see what happens next!
And another thing. Yeah?
If you've forgotten, maybe that's for the best. From this point forward, let's start a new life for ourselves. After all, our baby is excited to meet his daddy.
Daddy? Wait, what? I'm gonna be a father?
What a colossal death flag. I'll be surprised if he doesn't die after that.
More importantly, let's continue the conversation where we left off.
We understand Mew plotted the murder, but we need to find out who killed her.
And in order to figure that out, we need to understand Mew's actions. So let's discuss her murder scheme step by step.
I know that's important, but hearing you lead the conversation really pisses me off.
Let's see. Mew manipulated the virtual world to use it as part of her murder plan.
Don't just ignore me and start anyway.
If she had succeeded, she would have gone past the wall between the chapel and mansion. And then wham! Murdered me on the roof with the hammer.
She would make the murder seem like it happened in the real world, and then pin it on Kaito.
As for Mew's alibi in the real world, she could say she was locked into the virtual world. And in the virtual world, she could say she was near the chapel the entire time.
She'd make an excuse about how she couldn't reach the mansion because of the fallen bridge. Dropped the bridge on purpose so she could separate the chapel from the mansion. Then secretly passed through the wall she installed and took advantage of the loop. After, she headed to where we were supposed to meet up, the mansion's rooftop. Oh yeah, Kaito was probably logged out around that time too.
That's when I saw Mew.
Problem is, because of her murder plans, we don't even know where she was killed.
She was killed on the roof, right? Kokichi told us the roof door was locked and that he couldn't get through.
Maybe that when culprit killed her.
That's probably what happened. The culprit killed her on the locked roof.
Did the culprit lock the door to the roof?
Perhaps. I don't think Mew did it. If Mew did lock it, she would have done it when she called Kokichi to the roof. Even if someone came up, I don't believe she would change the target of her plan. She knew that Kokichi would come up later. Locking the door would be suspicious.
Well, it's possible she didn't even think that far ahead.
He was smart, but he was also really, really dumb.
No say such mean things. Killing game bad. Not Mew. Mew not bad person. Going to think we could have been friends if things different.
That might have been difficult, even without this killing game.
That wouldn't happen.
Nuh-uh. No way, Jose.
Huh? Anyway, let's continue the discussion. If the culprit must have moved Mew's avatar to the chapel after killing her, right?
So the next thing we should talk about is how they moved her avatar.
Now we know the mansion and chapel were actually next to each other. But the problem is the wall between them.
Only Mew was able to go through that wall. The culprit wouldn't have been able to.
Then you're saying the culprit sent Mew's avatar through that wall?
Yeah, that's the only way, right?
But how did the culprit send Mew's avatar through the wall? I mean, it's not like they could have thrown her.
Don't not throw her!
We know. You couldn't because the avatar's physical strength was equalized.
Physical strength equalized? That problem. Gonta no can protect everyone if that happens.
He's Keep up with us. We're already in the second half of the class trial.
How did they send Mew's avatar to the other side of the wall? Maybe that thing has something to do with it. You know, the loud sound you heard? Because of that sound, you guys went to the side of the chapel. Right, Keyboy? That's when you found the dead Mew there, right? If so, then I think that sound and her avatar being by the chapel are related. That's it!
I think the sound came from Mew's avatar hitting the chapel wall. The hammer, cell phone, and lattice were there, but they were too small to make that noise. Ruling those out, the only other explanation is that the sound was Mew colliding with a wall.
If that's the case, Mew's avatar must have hit the chapel wall really hard. We felt the impact all the way from the inside of the chapel.
Yeah, that's the real question. Mew's avatar probably hit the chapel's wall with pretty considerable force. But why did it hit the wall with such force? Can you guys figure it out?
Hold on, Kokichi. What's up with the way you're talking? Why are you talking like you know everything?
Let's not worry about that right now. More importantly, we gotta solve the mystery. Fighting among friends is a waste of time.
Friends? Us?
Anyway, can we talk about that after we figure this problem out?
A way of transporting Mew's avatar that would cause it to crash into the chapel.
Hey, Shuichi, as your partner, I'll give you a little hint.
Yo, what?
Since the mansion was on top of a hill, the roof was pretty high up, right? Past the brick handrail, the roof was at a pretty steep slope. And the slope faced the chapel wall. On top of that, there was snow on the roof. If the culprit needed force to move the body, I wonder how they did it.
Is this really the end? We can't let it end here! Used this sloped roof as a slide for Mew's avatar.
Slide? Aw, man. Even with the slope and the snow, Mew's body wouldn't have slid.
Wrong. It would slide.
But the avatars can generate friction. They wouldn't have been able to walk otherwise. So I doubt that it would have had that much momentum.
No. It would slide.
It wouldn't slide, just like Maki Roll said.
It would slide, just like Shumai said.
Who the hell is Shuma?
Oh, he's a pupil of Ramen Man. Sorry, my hobby slipped in.
Even if your avatar slid off the roof, would it slide off that quickly?
Well, duh, it would.
Didn't make that much noise. He must have built up a lot of speed.
Lots of snow piled up on the roof. Not frozen solid, right?
You'd still slide, though.
In the real world, it might be difficult. But in the virtual world, perhaps not.
That's not the issue. Sliding down snow is easy to do. You just need a sled or skis to cut the friction.
There was nothing like that around them.
Even if
issue. Snow is easy to do. Sled or skis to cut the friction.
There was nothing like that around them. That's wrong!
Now wait, there was something that could have been used to help slide Mew's body. Do you remember the lattice that was found by Mew's avatar? The culprit laid her on top of that, then used it as a sled on the roof. I did notice the lattice in the storage room when I first looked. But during the investigation, I saw that it was gone.
The lattice that was found next to the chapel is the one that disappeared from the roof? Then that's it. The culprit used the lattice as a sled.
Ding, ding, ding! That's correct! After the culprit killed Mew on the rooftop, they placed her corpse on a sled and slid her down the roof's steep slope.
The sled picked up speed, flew off the roof, glided through the wall only objects could pass through, and hit the chapel.
The impact made all of her belongings scattered, including the hammer and cell phone.
Just like that hedgehog who loses all his rings whenever he crashes into stuff. I hate that guy and his worldwide fame and his stupid games, and I hate that hedgehog!
Daddy, I'm glad you're feeling motivated again, but you shouldn't be so hateful. That'd be an example to our new family.
Yeah, Father. Or should I start calling you grandfather now?
Now that we know how the body slid down, we're just one step away from the culprit. Well, Shuichi, do you know who the culprit is?
Yeah. In the end, we'll still need to guess the culprit, huh?
But Gonta can't believe one of us killed Mew.
However, since we know she was killed on the roof, we can narrow down the list of suspects. Meaning, the culprit must be someone who was investigating the mansion. Aside from Mew, the people at the chapel could not go through the wall or cross the river.
So that means the suspects are Kaito, Tsumugi, Shuichi, and Gonta.
That's real sneaky, leaving yourself off the list.
Ooh, you got me.
It's you! Kokichi, there's something I need to know.
What do you need to know?
Why did you lie just now?
Which lie are you talking about, Shuichi? I lie a lot, so you'll need to jog my memory.
Fine. I'll expose your lie right now. It was that testimony that bothered me. was locked. You said. But later, you said. That's a lot of specific information. Stuff you wouldn't know if you hadn't been there.
Oh yeah! Now that you mention it, how did you know all that stuff?
You could probably see the steep slope of the roof from outside the mansion. But you wouldn't know about the brick handrail unless you went up to the roof yourself.
Huh? What?
What's this all about, Kokichi? Did you actually go to the rooftop?
I didn't. I already told you that before.
Why you look so nervous?
Is this a sincere reaction?
But there's no evidence that proves I went to the roof. Wait, I remember now. That thing Himiko said. At the start of the class trial, I remember you saying the handrail was made of bricks. Ooh, you so clumsy, girl. Gotta be more careful there, Himiko.
Was it my fault?
Himiko really say that?
She totally said that.
No, she didn't!
Yes, she did.
She did not!
She did too.
Then when? Tell me how long ago. In hours, minutes, and seconds.
What a worthless fight!
Stop it, Grandpa! Oh, this terrible fighting is bad for the baby!
Yeah, grandfather! Stop them before your grandkid is born!
I'm not gonna apologize, because Himiko said it.
So damn stubborn.
How much longer are you going to behave like this?
I didn't go to the roof.
I've had enough of your lies, man.
I'm not lying. The rooftop door was locked and I couldn't open it.
What did Kokichi do?
I turned back at once, of course. And stayed in the salon the whole time, you know?
Fire's burning hell, you know.
If you're lying, I'll set your pants on fire!
That's fine because I'm not lying.
Then why do you look so nervous?
I didn't go to the roof.
I've had enough of your lies, man.
I'm not lying. The rooftop door was locked and I couldn't open it.
What did Kokichi do?
I turned back at once, of course. And stayed in the salon the whole time, you know? The rooftop door was locked and I couldn't open it. So what did Kokichi do? I turned back at once, of course. And stayed in the salon the whole time, you know?
I always was the truth.
Kokichi, you're lying right now, aren't you?
Huh? Lying about what?
Just before the murder occurred, I went to the salon to check on you. But you weren't there.
What? Really?
I waited there for a while. You never showed up.
What's this all about, Kokichi? Didn't you go right back to the salon after finding the roof door locked?
So, you use underhanded tactics too, huh, Shuichi? So who are you guys gonna believe? Shuichi or me?
Well, of course I'm gonna believe Shuichi.
I believe Shuichi 100%.
The one who's not Kokichi.
100 house points. No, Yumiko points to Shuichi.
But to go to the salon, Shuichi would need to pass by me in the dining room. I wonder why I didn't notice Shuichi there. Oh well, I'll believe Shuichi anyway. He's usually right about stuff.
Sorry, but don't believe Shuichi too.
I see. I wanted at least Gonta to believe me.
What comes around goes around. That's what happens to liars like you.
Why do you guys hate lies that much? There's only one truth, but endless possibilities for lies, you know? And some of them are only white lies, or lies to be kind to people. If you deny all of that just because it's a lie, then that means you guys are just terrible at being lied to. Seriously, the worst!
Just spit it out already. You went to the roof, didn't you?
Isn't that where he met up with Miu?
No, he didn't just meet her there. He probably...
Okay, fine. I'll tell you if you want to know that badly. Consider this my revenge.
Revenge?
You got some balls lying to me. I'm gonna take away your fun for pissing me off, Shuichi. I won't let you do any detective work, or deduction, or mystery solving, or anything.
Oh?
So, I'll confess everything. You guys better listen carefully.
Confess?
A confession? So you are the culprit after all.
I came up with a plan after Miu asked me to meet up with her. She asked me pretty eagerly, too, so I decided to pry some info out of her. She gave me the rundown of the virtual world before she explained it to you guys. As I listened, I realized she was planning a murder. On me, no less. When I investigated the virtual world, I found out that a person can die from shock. Without a doubt, she planned to use that for my murder. So that's when I decided to prepare my own crime with her plan. I pretended to cooperate with her and lured everyone into the virtual world. That's also why I worked together with Monokuma.
You worked together with Monokuma?
I guess the jig is up. Yeah, everything he said is true. Kokichi came to me with an idea to make the killing game more interesting. It was such a good idea, I decided to place a motive in the killing game simulator.
You added a motive? Then the secret of the outside world is the motive, right?
No fair! Monokuma can't take sides!
I didn't help him with anything, and I had nothing to do with the murder itself. He merely suggested a way to spice up the killing game, and I accepted. Kokichi and I had a quid pro quo relationship. Technically, that doesn't violate the rules.
Bullshit! No matter how you look at it, you guys are working together.
Calm down. I'll explain my relationship with Monokuma, so let me finish my confession.
I'm fine with that, but you're confessing without much of a fight.
I told you, I'm gonna get in the way by taking away the mystery-solving fun. If I can't win this game, then I'll make it boring for everyone. That's my revenge. Well then, the culprit is Gonta.
What? Huh?
What did you... Wait! When did Gonta kill Mew?
That's a lie! He didn't kill her! Kokichi's just lying!
Now you're trying to pin things on Gonta? Do you really expect us to believe such an obvious lie?
Yeah, there's no way Gonta could commit a murder this complicated. He's not smart.
It's my turn now.
The truth is, Gonta and I worked together. We formed a duo to end this killing game. As the Killing Game Busters!
What busters?
We must win this killing game in order to end this killing game.
What you mean, we?
By the way, I came up with a murder plan, and Gonta carried it out.
What?
Why are you more surprised by that than the first thing he said?
Because Gonta have no idea what he's talking about.
Come on, quit lying and tell us the truth.
Gonta is telling the truth. He's not someone who lies all the time like you.
And no matter how naive Gonta may be, I doubt he would ever team up with Kokichi.
Yeah, not after insect meet and greet incident.
It's obvious what he's trying to do. Gonta doesn't understand the virtual world, so Kokichi's trying to trick him. He's trying to sacrifice Gonta to escape from his crime.
You're a terrible person! How dare you use Gonta like that?
You're right. I'm sorry. I did something horrible to Gonta. I didn't want Shuichi to hog all the glory, so I told everyone the truth.
Cut that out. I told you it's not gonna work.
Don't you think I could have pulled the strings and made Gonta carry out my commands?
Doesn't matter if it's possible or not, because I say it's just impossible.
It does matter. There's no need to bring emotions into class trials. All we need is logical thinking. Right, Shuichi?
What? Gonta not understand what's going on. But still, Gonta not kill Mew. Gonta really not know anything. And also, Gonta not tell lies. And Gonta not make trouble for others. 'Cause that not how gentlemen act. That why Gonta not culprit.
Yeah, Gonta's not lying. I can tell just by looking at him.
I already used my magic to check. Gonta's definitely not lying.
Then let me ask you guys. If it's not Gonta, then who's the culprit?
You, of course!
Come on! There's already proof that I couldn't have killed Mew.
There's already proof?
Oh, did you forget already? Then let me make it clear again. Why I can't be the culprit! I am not the culprit. Didn't I prove that to you guys already? The clue is how Mew was killed.
You got strangled to death, right?
Toilet paper was the murder weapon.
Mew would have totally resisted if she was being strangled, right? Then it would have been impossible for someone as weak as me.
You talking about the strength of your virtual avatar? That wouldn't matter if you strangled her from behind.
In which case, even if she did resist, the most she could have done is merely touch the culprit.
Exactly. She couldn't struggle much. So you could have kept strangling her, no problem.
See, I told you I'm not the culprit.
How'd you arrive at that conclusion?
I am not the culprit. Didn't I prove that?
Murder weapon.
Resisted. Impossible.
Strength of your virtual avatar? You struck her from behind.
If she did, the most she could have done is merely touch the culprit.
Exactly. She couldn't struggle much. So you could have... That's wrong!
Actually,
maybe it wasn't possible for Kokichi to strangle Mew.
Why wasn't it possible?
Mew modified my avatar, so if she attacked me, I wouldn't be able to resist. If Mew touched me, then I'd be unable to move.
Huh?
So I would have had to kill her instantly, such as stabbing or hitting. I couldn't have murdered her by strangulation, because it'd be game over if she touched me.
Well, if you were using the toilet paper, you wouldn't need to touch her directly.
But if you can't be touched while you're wrapping the toilet paper around her neck, then it would be impossible.
Which means, as long as she died from strangulation, it couldn't have been me.
Wait, what if it was something besides strangulation then? Like,
There's no doubt Mew was strangled. We already discussed this.
Kaito is really desperate to make me the culprit. No matter how much you whine about it, you can't change the truth. The culprit who killed Mew is Gonta Gokuhara! This is the truth you all adore so much.
No! Gonta not kill Mew! It's true! You gotta believe Gonta! Gonta would never hurt anyone!
I believe you. You've been risking yourself to protect everyone. There's no way Gonta would kill. He won't even kill bugs.
I believe Gonta too. I'm not gonna listen to Kokichi's lies.
of course! Who'd believe a liar like him? He's lying about Gonta being the culprit, so there's no point talking about it. Right, Shuichi? You think so too, don't you?
Huh? I know how important it is to believe, but as the ultimate detective, I know we can't solve this case with belief alone.
Huh?
It's just that something doesn't add up. I have this feeling something's off. We can't keep going back and forth like this. We need to discuss this.
What, you want to suspect Gonta?
Too bad, Kaito. Looks like Shuichi agrees with me.
No, I'm not trying to...
Oh, the irony! It's all thanks to Kaito that Shuichi got his act together as a detective. And now, Shuichi's intuition as a detective has made him more suspicious of others. Well, can't be helped. That's just what a detective does.
That's not it, Kokichi. I'm just trying to make sure that everyone
Shuichi, Gonta really not do it. Gonta not culprit. Please, believe Gonta.
We might as well discuss it.
What?
As a precautionary measure, that's all. I think we need to seriously discuss whether Gonta was capable of committing this crime. Only then can we arrive at a logical decision.
You guys, why don't you get it? That's just what Kokichi wants. He's just trying to split us up. Shuichi, open your eyes.
But...
One Truth Special! Sorry to ruin this tense moment, but you guys seem pretty evenly split right now. So, the Ultimate Academy is proud to present its very own more phenomenal trial grounds!
So we're gonna do that again?
Shuichi, why? Why don't you understand? You're my sidekick, aren't you? Kaito. are you saying that Gonta is the culprit?
Gonta is such a sweetheart. He wouldn't hurt a fly.
Could Gonta have even made it to the rooftop without being noticed?
Look, the entrance hall is all that separates the rooftop from the mansion exterior.
There should have been witnesses at the entrance hall.
I got this! No, none of us were in charge of the entrance hall.
But Kokichi confessed he was working with Monokuma.
Kokichi, I did cooperate with Monokuma, but only on a temporary basis.
It's all a lie. Kokichi is the one who killed Mew.
That isn't possible, because Kokichi's avatar had special settings.
Gonta not kill Mew! Honest!
I got this! The truth is, Gonta could have murdered Mew.
Shuichi, are you saying that Gonta is the culprit? Shuichi, are you saying that Gonta is the culprit?
I got this! I can't say for sure he's the culprit. I'm saying we can't rule it out.
Gonta is such a sweetheart. He wouldn't hurt a fly.
Kokichi, don't you realize these so-called sweethearts can commit crimes too?
Could Gonta have even made it to the rooftop without being noticed?
The entrance hall is all that separates the rooftop from the mansion exterior.
There should have been witnesses at the entrance hall.
I got this! No, none of us were in charge of the entrance hall.
But Kokichi confessed he was working with Monokuma.
Kokichi, I did cooperate with Monokuma, but only on a temporary basis.
It's all a lie. Kokichi is the one who killed Mew.
That isn't possible, because Kokichi's avatar had special settings.
Gonta not kill Mew! Honest!
I got this! The truth is, Gonta could have murdered Mew.
This is our answer!
In my opinion, as long as it is possible that Gonta is the culprit, we have to discuss it.
That's ridiculous. You're going to believe Kokichi over Gonta?
That's not it at all. I just want the truth. If we're going to survive, I have to find the truth.
But Gonta telling truth. Gonta really not culprit.
I still don't think Gonta's lying.
But didn't I tell you guys already? If you're planning to expose a liar, then you have to corner them psychologically. Only then will they reveal their true self as a liar, hiding beneath a layer of deceit. That's why it hurts my heart to persecute Gonta like this! Gonta, if you understand, then do it right. Make logical arguments for the truth.
Logical arguments?
It means use your head to make arguments.
Use head?
What I'm trying to say is, if you aren't the culprit, then you gotta prove that you aren't!
But Gonta really not know.
I'm sick of hearing you say you don't know! God, why are you so dumb?
Gonta just want to help everyone, like true gentlemen.
You're a true gentleman? More like a true nincompoop.
Hey! Now that's just bullying.
Bullying? Yeah, so what? That's what you do in this game, right? You guys blame and gang up on me, but now you're gonna pretend to be good people?
No, I never ganged up.
Gonta, argue back already! Just make an excuse or whatever!
Stop it! That's enough!
Stop what? You mean stop the game? Hey, do you even know what you're saying?
Yeah, I know. What about it? I don't want to survive if it means I have to stoop to your level.
Oh, that's a low blow right there. Then just die in a hole for all I care! We want to live, so stop getting in our way!
Quit it. If you don't shut your mouth, then I'll shut it for you. Permanently.
Maki, please, calm down.
Sorry. Gonta's fault everyone's so upset. But Gonta telling truth! Gonta really not culprit! Does Gonta not know anything? Really?
Cut it out already! That's all you've been saying this whole time!
You're the one that needs to cut it out.
That's it.
Did Gonta get into an accident in the virtual world?
Accident?
This is it! When we logged into the virtual world, an avatar user error occurred. An avatar user error? Ever since Gonta logged out, he's been saying, I don't know, I don't understand.
That's because Gonta doesn't understand the virtual world, right?
That's what I thought at first, but I think it's because of the error.
What you mean?
I believe it's possible that Gonta doesn't remember what happened in the virtual world.
Huh? He doesn't remember.
You started saying, I don't know anything, after leaving the virtual world. I think that's the result of some kind of memory error.
That's why he doesn't remember anything that happened in the virtual world. Not even killing Mew.
What? That's ridiculous! Quit screwing around!
Yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous.
What do you mean he doesn't remember? He's just confused!
Gonta told us he was bad with computers, remember?
Memory or no memory, Gonta never hurt anyone! No way Gonta's the culprit! anyone! Gonta wants to keep everyone safe!
Gonta would never kill a friend!
Gonta is gentlemen! Gentlemen protect friends! Gonta! Gonta, swear! Please believe Gonta! Never hurt anyone! Gonta wants to keep
Everyone safe!
Never kill a friend!
Gonta is gentlemen! Gentlemen protect friends!
Relies on protecting them.
Gonta not lying! Gonta, please believe me!
I heard it!
The cause of the error that affected Gonta's avatar is the 2 cords on the helmet used to log into the virtual world. I think that Gonta messed up something with the cords, causing the error.
If he mixed the consciousness and memory cords, then there'd be an error with memory. Like an error that won't let you bring your avatar's memories to the real world?
What? Gonta, do you think it's possible that you improperly connected the cords?
How Gonta's supposed to remember that?
He couldn't have messed it up. I said it over and over. Right is the hand you hold your chopsticks in.
Oh, but Gonta holds chopsticks with this hand!
That's your left hand!
What?
Looks like it's decided!
What? Decided. He's wrong, isn't he, Gonta? You remember the virtual world, don't you?
Gonta not remember. Gonta not even go to this virtual world place.
What?
Gonta fall asleep when he put helmet on. When Gonta wake up, Mew dead. Gonta not know what happened. So, Gonta worry. Gonta not understand what everyone talking about.
No! It can't be!
But Gonta try his best to understand. Gonta imagine real hard.
That's enough, Gonta. We already know.
Know what?
We know that you totally forgot about teaming up with me and killing Mew.
Wait a minute! That lie! Gonta not kill Mew! Listen! Why would Gonta do that?
Yeah, it's a lie! I'll never accept this! And besides, Gonta's got no motive to kill Mew!
I already gave you my testimony on how I came up with the murder plan.
And I'm saying I don't believe you!
Kokichi, if what you're saying is true, why did you plan it this way? You wanted to plan the murder yourself, but have someone else carry it out?
Is the person who planned it also included as a blackened with the perpetrator?
No! Only the person who actually commits the murder becomes the blackened!
Then there's no incentive to just plan the murder.
But Gonta's such a gentle soul. Why would he agree to this?
Hold on! That hasn't been decided yet!
Who cares about the motive? Let's vote for the culprit already!
I care about the motive!
Well, I don't care. Finding the culprit is more important in this class trial. Talking about the motive is meaningless. It's not necessary for this specific case.
No matter what you say, I'll never believe your lies.
We all agree that Gonta is the culprit, right? It would be impossible for anyone but him.
Impossible? Why?
It's pretty obvious if you use the process of elimination. Which means, Shuichi, you'll be my partner, right? Because if you don't face the truth, then we'll all die, right? And you don't want that, do you? Okay, let's begin!
Quit screwing around! I'm done putting up with your selfish bullshit!
Kaito, We should listen to his explanation. Our lives depend on it.
So, we can now take Keyboy, Himiko, and Maki off the suspect list. Shuichi, would you care to explain? I doubt they'll believe it if it came from me.
They couldn't get to the crime scene, could they?
The bridge from the chapel to the mansion was gone, and only Miu could pass through the wall. The three at the chapel had no way to get to the mansion, so they couldn't have done it. Kaito is the next one off our suspect list, and you know why, right?
Kaito had logged out ahead of us.
Miu logged Kaito out from the start. But she did that to make us think the murder happened in the real world, right? Since we figured out the actual killing happened in the virtual world, it would have been impossible for Kaito, who had already logged out. Miu's time of death was around 6:30 in the morning. That's after Kaito logged out.
Kokichi's completely running the show now.
My synergy with Shuichi is super on point now, so let's move on to the remaining suspects. Gonta, Samugi, Shuichi, and me. Samugi and Shuichi can be crossed off. But what's the reason for that?
Tsumugi and I are witnesses to each other's alibis.
Both of you heard Miu hitting the chapel wall, right? The culprit was definitely on the roof during that time, since they slid Miu down. Because of that, Shuichi and Samugi can't be the culprit. That leaves only Gonta and me as the remaining suspects.
Then you're the culprit!
Sorry for getting your hopes up, but didn't I already explain that's impossible?
If Miu touched him, he'd freeze in place. Kokichi wasn't capable of strangling her.
So then, it's down to one person. And who was that again? Well, who is it?
Don't answer, Shuichi! You don't need to answer that! This is all Kokichi's trap!
It's Gonta.
Shuichi?
Yep, Gonta is the only person who could have committed the murder. You get it now, right? That's the truth we were all reaching for. The thing you guys wanted so badly! A truth without any lies! New Iruma's killer is Gonta Gokuhara!
Gonta really do it?
Is that really your reaction? It would have been fun if you went all crazy. But you forgot everything so well. A culprit who can't remember their murder is pretty interesting. So, better than nothing. If Gonta remembered, his cover would have been blown so fast, Especially since he's an idiot.
Hold on. I still haven't accepted this. This has gotta be Kokichi's trap. I still believe in Gonta. He's not the kind of person who'd kill.
Kaito. I already said this a million times, Kaito. You shouldn't use emotions to...
You want proof? I've got your proof. After Tsumugi and Shuichi heard Kibo's voice in the mansion, they ran outside. And who did they see out there? Kokichi said it himself. When Yu's avatar crashed into the chapel wall, the culprit must have been on the roof.
I see. If Gonta's the culprit, it'd be weird if he wasn't on the roof.
It's possible that he fled the mansion after he heard the impact.
You'd have to go through the entrance hall to get outside the mansion from the roof. Is that where Shuichi and Tsumugi ran to when they heard the crashing sound?
Then maybe he jumped off the roof.
Possible. That rooftop was pretty high up.
Normally, Gonta could have done it, but his avatar wasn't strong enough. How about that? Now you get it, right? If Gonta was the culprit, there's no way he could have been outside the mansion.
Now you can't say Gonta's the culprit. Congrats, Gonta.
What? Really?
No, that's wrong.
What?
Just because Gonta was at the mansion doesn't mean that he isn't the culprit. All the culprit needed was a way to get from the roof to outside the mansion.
Huh?
Looks like Shuichi got it. I'll leave the rest to him.
Kaito, I know how you feel. I know because we all feel it. But we have to face the truth. No matter how cruel that truth may be, we need to face it to survive.
Whose side are you on, Shuichi?
Kaito, please.
Aren't you my sidekick? Was that just a lie?
Kaito!
Fine then! I'll tear that sorry reasoning of yours apart and wake you up! Accept this! Don't you know Gonta at all? Not the kind of guy who kills someone. Don't you know that about him by now? I'll never accept this! Don't you know Gonta at all? Damn it! Why won't you believe Gonta? Why are you listening to Kokichi? You my sidekick? Wake up, Shuichi! Why won't you believe Gonta? Why are you listening to Kokichi? Aren't you my sidekick? Wake up, Shuichi! Why won't you believe Gonta? Why are you listening to Kokichi? Aren't you my sidekick? Who do you want to believe? Remember what Kokichi has done to us! Remember how Gonta's always tried to protect us! How could Gonta be the culprit? Still want to accuse him, huh? Say truth this, truth that. There's a reason Gonta's not the culprit! Who do you want to believe? Remember what Kokichi has done to us! Remember how Gonta's always tried to protect us! How could Gonta be the culprit? Still want to accuse him, huh? True this, true that. There's a reason Gonta's not the culprit! Who do you want to believe? Remember what Kokichi Kokichi has done to us! Remember how Gonta's always tried to protect us, damn it! There's no way to leave the mansion from the rooftop!
It ends here!
Damn it!
The toilet paper we found outside the mansion. That's what the culprit used to get from the roof to the ground.
Toilet paper?
The same toilet paper that was used as the murder weapon. That's why we didn't find it anywhere else. Not at the scene of the crime, nor on Miu's body. It was outside the mansion.
Hold on. If they use the toilet paper as a rope to get down from the roof, then they need to tie it to something. But there was nothing to tie it to. I know because I investigated the roof.
You're stubborn, Kaito. You're still going on about this.
Of course I am! I'm gonna believe in Gonta till the very end!
No, there was something that the toilet paper could have been tied to.
What?
There! The binoculars on the rooftop. The toilet paper could have been tied there. However, I don't think the culprit actually tied it down there. They just hung it. And then used the doubled up toilet paper to climb down. But in that case, they would have had to tug on it in order to take it down.
Yep, that's correct. Because I came up with that idea. But I thought I told Gonta to put the toilet paper back in the bathroom. Oh, I guess he ran into someone on the way and then threw it somewhere close by. Looks like Kaito's morale is shot, so this whole thing is done now.
The matter does appear to be settled.
That... it's...
So, the truth. Gonta really killed Miu.
But I'm the one who came up with the plan. Anyway, just admit your crime, Gonta. Even though you don't remember, you still did it.
But why did Gonta do such a terrible thing?
Wait, before you start crying, you gotta admit your crime first.
Stop. I won't let you, Kokichi. If anyone is going to get him to confess, it's me. Gonta, I'm going to look back at the whole case one more time, okay? When you're convinced, you just let me know, all right? Let's end this together.
Okay.
the truth of the case. The case began last night. After being convinced by Mew, we all logged into the virtual world. To log in, you have to plug the memory and consciousness cords into the device. So, we all plugged those cords into our helmets and entered the virtual world. But the culprit had accidentally plugged their cords into the wrong ports. Because of this, a connection error occurred between the culprit's brain and their avatar. As a result, the culprit would forget everything that happened in the virtual world. It's possible that this had an effect on their avatar's personality as well. Because I can't believe that someone so kind could commit murder. But we had no idea this error even happened, and so we all logged in one by one. Meanwhile, Mew was the last to log in. She had modified the killing game simulator so she could accomplish a specific goal. After Mew confirmed we were all logged in, she took out the bottle of poison and placed it on Kokichi's seat. This was done to make it look like Kokichi was killed by poison when we returned. Yes, the reason Mew modified the simulator and brought us to the virtual world was to kill Kokichi in the virtual world, but make it look like he had died in the real world. After we had all logged in, Mew explained the world to us. Use the salon phone to lock out. Objects are unbreakable. Your avatars use all 5 senses. She also explained the map of the virtual world in the mansion's entrance hall. But her explanation was intentionally false. She wanted us to misunderstand the world. However, one of us was able to see through her scheme. The very person Mew was trying to kill, Kokichi. Kokichi was going to use Mew's plan against her and plotted her murder. But Kokichi wouldn't do it himself. He used a patsy to be the culprit in this case. Kokichi was tight-lipped about the motive, so I don't know why the culprit agreed. But it seems as though right after logging in, when Kokichi and the culprit went outside, they were already working together to execute the murder. Eventually, we met up with Kokichi and crossed the river to the chapel. Mew had us split up to try to find some secret of the outside world. Kaito, Kokichi, Gonta, Tsumugi, and I investigated the mansion, while Maki, Himiko, Kibo, and Mew investigated the chapel. Splitting us up was also part of Mew's plan. At the chapel, Mew told Maki that she was going to look around outside. She chased after our group while we were heading toward the mansion. Once she made sure we were across, she dropped the bridge into the river. This was to trick us into thinking that the river separated the mansion and chapel. At the time, we thought nothing of it. It was just another one of Mew's pranks. That's why we continued with the original plan to find the secret of the outside world. We went to the mansion and split up to look for clues. Kokichi searched the salon. Kaito searched the roof. Tsumugi searched the dining room. I searched the kitchen. And finally, the culprit searched outside the mansion. Around that time, Mew was headed for the wall that was on the side of the chapel. She passed through the wall and headed for the mansion to kill Kokichi. You see, the wall was a special wall that Mew had added herself. This wall was programmed so that only objects could pass through. And Mew had changed her avatar settings from human to object. That was the hidden route she prepared for herself. She set up a wall that only she could pass through. Mew headed toward the mansion, but she was seen by Tsumugi on the way. When she entered the mansion, she pulled out her cell phone. She didn't tell us that there was another way to log out. Then, she spoke a name into the phone, which forced that person to log out. It was Kaito who was on the roof at the time. The same roof where Kokichi and Mew were going to meet. By having Kaito search the roof and then forcing him to log out, she was making him look the most suspicious, but her plan didn't go smoothly. Kokichi was waiting on the roof with a culprit and the toilet paper used to kill Mew. While Mew was distracted by Kokichi, the culprit snuck up from behind. And used the toilet paper from the mansion's bathroom to strangle Mew. This was only possible because objects in the virtual world are unbreakable. Mew's avatar was strangled to death, and the shock killed Mew in the real world. After the murder, Kokichi left the cleanup to the culprit and left the roof. He probably returned to the salon as soon as he could to avoid drawing suspicion. The culprit then took the lattice from the storage room and placed Mew's body on top along with the hammer and the cell phone. The culprit heaved the lattice over the railing and forcefully slid it down the roof slope. With a body on top of it, the lattice became a makeshift sled and flew off the roof. It went through the wall that only objects can pass through before crashing into the chapel. That was the crashing sound that Kibo heard in the chapel and we heard in the mansion. Mew's wall hid the fact that the mansion and chapel were actually right next to each other. That's why Tsumugi and I were able to hear the crash from the mansion. As the final step, the culprit had to then get off the roof. Because we were at the mansion, they couldn't take the stairs or they'd be seen. So they used the toilet paper again to escape from the rooftop. They hung the toilet paper from the binoculars on the roof and used it like a rope to climb down. Once the culprit was safely on the ground, they pulled at the toilet paper to retrieve it. They would have returned it to the bathroom, but they ran into us as we were leaving the mansion. In a panic, the culprit tossed the toilet paper somewhere nearby. Without that one little mistake, we might never have solved this case because the culprit doesn't remember. This is the truth you've forgotten, Gonta Gokuhara, the ultimate entomologist. Gonta, this is the truth we've reached.
Sorry. Gonta not really understand, 'cause Gonta not smart boy. But if everyone agree, then everyone probably right. Gonta, trust everyone.
Gonta.
But why? Gonta kill Mew, forget everything. Gonta even think he not do anything bad. And then Gonta tried to blame someone else and make everyone suffer. Why? Why Gonta do such terrible thing?
Gonta, it's not your fault.
It's Kokichi's fault. He must have tricked Gonta.
Huh? I totally didn't trick him. Before we go into that, it's voting time. We should finish up the class trial first.
But is this the right answer? We're not being fooled by Kokichi?
For once, I wish that we were.
Huh? Wrapping things up already? What a buzzkill of an ending. It lacks the rush of previous voting times. Well, after so many killing games, I guess it was bound to happen eventually. It's just as well. This killing game is a bad influence on the baby.
Oh my, Monotone. You're even starting to look like a father.
Yeah! I gotta get my act together for the baby. Now then, pull yourselves together and let's begin! The heart-racing excitement as the blackened and the spotless face off. It's voting time! It seems the voting has finished. Now then, let's see the result. Who'll be chosen as the blackened? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one? Absolutely right! Let me hear your joyful voices! Let me hear your joyful voices!
Damn.
Yay!
And another thing. Here. Oh.
What was that?
Hey,
Oh, I see. Please stop! All right.
huh?
Because
But
Gonta's memories didn't transfer over, so they're still in the virtual world as data. I can combine Gonta's consciousness from his last login with that leftover memory data. Ta-da! Alter Ego Gonta is now complete.
Alter ego?
Basically, it's a separate Gonta that only exists in virtual space. If we listen to what he says, we should be able to find out what happened in that world.
What this? What happening?
What's that mean?
Hey, now then.
Please. Why?
oh man.
Oh. Gonta.
huh?
Gonta don't know. Wrong.
That's
Gonta.
yeah.
But Gonta. What?
Oh.
Huh?
Yeah.
What?
Please wait.
Hey.
Huh?
In other words, yeah.
Huh?
You know.
Huh?
Wait,
Incomprehensible.
Oh? You get it?
hey!
To tell you the truth, too bad.
this happen?
What did you say?
No way! Wrong. Huh? How'd this happen? But...
Yeah. You get it?
Hold on!
Hey,
Please.
Sorry!
Why? Huh?
But
It can't be.
By the way,
Gonta...
but
Stop it!
well,
Sorry!
Always messing around.
How can this be? Sorry! Gonta, idiot!
yeah.
Don't screw around!
Please stop! Sorry, everyone.
I know that! I suppose. So am I!
That's enough!
Please stop!
Hey, hey!
huh?
And another thing.
am I!
Huh?
I know that!
But
Okay. Ah. Yeah? Honey! Now then, I've prepared a very special punishment. Gonta!
no. How can this be?
It's punishment time!
Sorry, everyone. Going to idiot!
Thrilling! Dang it!
Why?
Unbelievable.
But how?
Got a minute?
Okay.
Damn it.
Got a minute?
What was that?
You?
Huh?
I don't want to, stupid head!
Kokichi!
Oh man, did you fall for all that fake crying? You're so dumb! I would never cry for Gonta!
What?
Because... What? Hey!
Huh?
Which means... We really don't get it. Hey! Who cares about that idiot? I want to enjoy this game filled with suspicion, and betrayal from the bottom of my heart. I am the supreme leader of evil, so it's obvious my personality would be twisted. The more you suffer, the more I enjoy it. There are people in this world who spread grief and misery for no reason than the thrill of it. And I'm one of those people. Nothing pleases me more than inflicting pain on others!
You?
Ben?
You're so dumb.
You bastard. Do you want to die?
Don't screw around.
Oops, sorry. I tried to dodge you, but I punched you instead.
Kaito!
You?
By the way, Kaito, is it just me? Or are you way slow? Maybe, just maybe, Kaito is hiding something from us too.
Kaito! You got a minute? You bastard.
Let's have more fun.
Are you alright?
Sorry. Oh?
That's wrong!
Hmm?
No.
Oh, man.
Kaito! Huh?
Hey!
What?
Okay?
Kaito?
What? Why? What's the matter, Kaito?
Come on. Don't freak out over this. It's nothing. My cold just got worse is all.
I didn't know that coughing up blood was a cold symptom.
You're a robot and you don't know that? I'm saying it's fine. Just chill. I just coughed too much, cut my throat or something. I don't know.
Kaito!
Shut up!
Huh?
Well...
Damn it! It's almost time. Yeah, it's almost time. This should be enough. I'll end it. Now is the time. I'll end this killing game.
Shh.